The log is off.
This one. What's next down the pot then?
Oh, God. Hang on a second, mate. I had a lot of equipment to bring to this party.
There is a lot of equipment. Yeah, you're right.
Get some more glasses. Ugh.
Fresh glass.
Fresh glass.
So next on the board, we're going a little bit meatier, aren't we? So, right, I've got to be careful with this one because I've heard of this brew before. So this is Donzoko Brewery. Donzoko they were in Newcastle, I think, and then they went to Middlesbrough or something like that. And I'm not sure where they are now, but I'm looking at the back, and it says that they do have a brewery and tap room. Donzoko actually got quite famous for their lagers. There you go.
Oh,
yeah. So, but I haven't had one for a long time. So this is Donzoko Brewing Company from Newcastle, Tiramisu Dessert Stout at 10%. Getting a bit bigger, mate. Getting a bit bigger.
yeah. So, can I say two things about this? I love this can. There's something about this can when you're holding it. It's really nice.
Is it because it's small for your little paedophile hands?
And there's like a texture to it. It's ribbed for her pleasure.
For your pleasure. Oh, it is a bit ribbed, isn't it?
It is. It's such a nice, aesthetically pleasing can.
I quite like these 330ml cans, these long, slender ones.
Yeah. Now, I'm going to say something else which might seem sort of like I don't understand what you're getting at. Tiramisu is my favourite dessert of all time, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's simple. It's pretty much the same thing everywhere you go.
Tiramisu isn't simple.
Well, it is simple. Ladyfingers, coffee.
Speak for your own fingers.
Sausage fingers.
It's not. It's talk me through a recipe of a tiramisu.
Oh, hang on a sec, mate. I've just opened that and did yours splat everywhere?
No.
The log is off.
I've had to get me darts towel out again.
I wondered what was going on there. I thought you'd had a catastrophic technology failure.
It's always good spilling sticky fucking stout on your £1.5 laptop. That wasn't a flex, by the way. I'm just saying.
What was what? No, go on. What are you saying? Tiramisu. So I want to know how you make a tiramisu because I don't think it's as simple as you think it is.
Yeah, so you get lady fingers, the sponge fingers, dip them in coffee.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
You line a bowl with them.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Then you get your cream filling.
What is that cream filling?
Well, you know,
Is it just whipped cream?
Yeah, can be.
Just take it back. When you just take it back and say, actually, a tiramisu is not a simple dessert.
Well, I didn't think I was going to have to make one for you. So basically, what you do, right? So, right, in a large bowl, right, you whisk eggs and sugar together, and then you put in mascarpone cheese, and then you mix that into the egg mixture until well combined.
Egg mixture.
Now, in a separate bowl,
egg mixture,
what you need to do is whip double cream and fold that in with a metal spoon with sugar. And then you need some more egg whites in and fold that all together so you've got it in there.
Make a meringues, eh?
And then you've got... I mean, I'm reading this from the BBC Food Guide, so...
Excellent shithousery.
I couldn't keep it up.
Yeah. I was watching them do it on MasterChef The Professionals from the last series. Nice burp down the mic.
Yeah, cheers.
I was watching them do it, and even the meant to be professionals were like, "Shit, how'd you make a tiramisu?" It's like it was the hardest thing ever.
I love that show so much.
I do.
Right. Have you? Hang on. Have you drank yours?
No, it's just a big glass.
So what I was saying is, tiramisu is my favourite dessert of all time. However, this would be in my beer hell.
Okay.
Because I don't think it's going to taste like tiramisu.
Are you poured?
Just about, yeah, man. This can's amazing. This is my favourite can of all time.
Are you going to make love to this can?
A bit.
Right. Cheers.
Cheers.
Do you know what that tastes like?
Tiramisu. It really does, doesn't it? That's incredible. That's blown me away.
Yeah, that's
absolutely incredible.
No preempting, but no spoilers, but that's definitely a log us off, isn't it?
That's absolutely insane. Mate, I'm so surprised by stouts because you would just think stouts are stout, but when they had this is just lads at Donzoko, that's insane.
Donzoko.
What is it? What is it?
That sounds like some sort of niche porn.
It's the shittest mafia boss ever.
Donzoko.
Lads at Danny Zuko. That's incredible.
That is good. That is really nice. Yeah, that is good.
Oh,
that's one of the best stouts I've had for a little while, actually.
it's
I really enjoy
good,
that.
isn't it? I'm super.
Do you know what you can taste in that, though? That sometimes is quite dividing. What's the word for dividing? What's the word?
Divisive.
Divisive, that's the one. I think it's got tonka in.
Conker?
Tonka.
What's Tonka?
Tonka bean.
What's Tonka bean?
It's like a chocolate bean.
Are you making this up?
No.
Tonka bean. Fuck. You've read that. You've done that. You absolute knobhead.
I haven't
You've
done
read
it.
that
I haven't
and gone,
done it.
Oh, I'm gonna bring that in later on and make it sound like I'm class.
I haven't done a good food. Where does it say Tonka? Oh yeah, Tonka beans.
Oh, where does it say?
Well, no, because I could have. If I wanted to go really bad, I could have gone. It tastes of cacao. That does.
You smell of cacao.
Tonka's not a real distinctive taste though, and that's what you can taste. Yeah. Look, don't be jealous of the good palate.
Well, to be fair, you do get about with your Michelins, don't you?
I drink a lot of beer as well, Dan.
Yeah, that's true. That is insane. That's actually like it's like something you could just drink all night because it's so good.
I enjoy that. When we're talking about when we were just talking earlier about the barbers, so that was the other thing I was going to say. That the barbers is a cash in hand society as well. So my barber's literally just got a sum up machine to get it to take a card payment, like literally in the last 6 months. So he was a cash only, and it always makes me laugh because cash in hand is basically code for I'm not paying any taxes on this.
Yeah, I don't mind that so much. Like, if that's their thing, that's the thing.
But do you ever have cash? I don't ever have cash.
I've had quite a bit of cash recently.
Oh, because look at you, very big bollocks.
Because every time so me and my dad, I'll take my dad shopping or something, and every time I'll buy it on my card, and then he gives me cash because I think older generations give you cash. So every time I go in my wallet, I've got like 30 or 40 quid, which I would never normally have because he's just given me half the money for something.
People, older people especially, have this bee in their bonnet about using cards and card transactions. They're like, Some people like go off at cash is king, cash is king. Off, it's not king at all. First of all, you can't find a hole in the wall because there's none exists anymore because there's no banks left on the high street. I don't get cash is king at all. Cash is king. Cash is king if you're trying to hide something.
I'm a massive fan of convenience.
Me too.
Having to go to a separate place to get money out to go to somewhere else and pay for something is just bullshit.
And you know what's always good? You can always track what you've spent and where you've spent it. You may not appreciate or want to know, but you can always trace it back.
But it's funny, isn't it? All these people who go, the banks, if they want a digital society, they're going to rip us off and you'll be happy and have nothing.
They're just selling our details to the Chinese. They want to know what we're buying, when we're buying, and how we're buying.
Bro, that's happening anyway. It doesn't matter. If you've got $3,000 under your mattress, that's happening anyway.
I've said this before and I'll say it again. If the Chinese want to spy on me, they're welcome to it because I'm not that interested. Literally got nothing to hide from the Chinese whatsoever. I don't understand.
Did I tell you about our window cleaner? I thought this was one of the most cleverest grifts I've ever seen in my life, right? So we used to pay our window cleaner cash. And then one day he said, I'm offering people to pay standing order. So here's my bank details. Then instead of coming around for £6 every week, it would be like, you just pay him every month. So you set it up, you forget about it, don't you?
Yeah.
He's paid, you get your windows cleaned, jobs are good. And then about the end of November last year, he knocked on the door and said, I'm not doing the standing order stuff anymore because so many people don't pay or change the bank and don't tell us, or I've got to chase people up online and all this. So I'm going back to cash. And my missus was like, well, we've never got cash in the house, and we're never in when you knock on the door. And he was like, yeah, but I'm going back to cash. You know, you can either pay by cash or we'll just call it quits kind of thing. So anyway, he came a few times in between November and January. We paid him cash. We did have it. And then January, middle of January, early February, knocked on the door and said, I'm going back to paying by standing order because people didn't have any money in the house and all this. And I was like, that's weird. Like, such a weird thing to do. Just go to cash between December and January. And then I realised what he was doing. It's because he could knock on doors during Christmas period and people would give him massive tips.
Ching ching.
Yeah, fair play to him. I didn't give him a tip.
See, that would have been a very short conversation for me. So you can either go back to cash or we can call it quits. Yeah, we'll just call it quits, mate. Cheers.
Yeah, but then you have dirty windows.
Get a hose.
Get hose?
I'm thinking of getting one of those brushes.
Mate, you have to think about what you do.
For the audio, it doesn't matter so much, but on the telly, it's a bit worse. Yeah, I'm going to get one of those.
Stop doing that, man. You're not that guy.
I'm going to get one of those pulls with that you connect to your hose. It's got a brush on the end.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to get one of them because we get battered by the coast and our windows are always sandy. And we've just tried to buff them up literally yesterday. And we've come in tonight and the sun's shining through them and they may as well have just been dirty because it's almost impossible to buff your own windows.
It is difficult.
Cleaning windows is the hardest thing in the world.
It's really hard. Yeah, fair play to those guys. They make it look easy, don't they?
Yeah. So, and we've got like a bifolding door with like 4 panes of glass in it. And it's like, Jesus, I was absolutely buggered by the time I'd finished trying to buff them.
So, in terms of money then, who do you tip?
I always tip at restaurants. And I don't know why, really. Although I went to Zizzi's this week and I didn't tip in Zizzi's because it was appalling service.
I tell you what, I have started tipping, which I didn't used to before. Delivery drivers from Just Eat.
No, we don't have Just Eat here, so I don't have that problem. I can get if it Just Eat here contains 1 takeaway.
But if you got a takeaway, would you tip the driver?
I don't ever get takeaways delivered. Ever. Ever, ever, ever.
I don't believe that for 1 second.
I
Looking
promise
at you,
you. I promise you. I don't ever, ever get. We have a Chinese, and we go and pick it up. We have a curry, and it's a 40-minute round trip to go and get a curry. We can get something delivered from Lancaster. The last time I did it, it was like something like a 2-hour wait for it, and that's it.
do you live on the top of Scarfell Pike?
Honestly, I swear to God, we're just like in a barrenness. I mean, we have got 2 Turkish barbers, but
What was that, everyone?
and actually the local takeaway, which does deliver, which we never have deliver, Sizzle In, is closing its doors.
So, I think the thing is, though, would you tip a taxi driver if you had a bit crap with you?
Yeah, but taxis are also so expensive.
Yeah. So who would tip him then?
But I'm not. Literally, I'll go to a restaurant and tip in a restaurant, and that's it.
It's weird, isn't it? It's such a bizarre, like,
Mate, the minimum
culture.
wage now is so much as well. Like, you know, so in the US, they're like 30% and all this sort of shit, which just blows my mind. But they don't pay a living wage. Whereas here, they get a living wage now, especially like after April, it's gone up like quite a lot. It's gone up like 6% or something. Yeah, I know. I know. It's relative. I know that.
Yeah. But I did think for a long time that we should adopt the American system, that better service equals better money for the people who've provided better service.
It's not in our culture.
But it's not like that, is it?
It's not in our culture. You just get people just not paying anything. But yeah, that's the only place I'd say. I'm also not a fan of this. We've put on a discretionary 15% tip for service or service charge.
Yes.
Which is,
well, I'll just get it myself then. Tell us where to go and I'll get it myself. And then I won't have to pay you.
I was on to America, and I was working there. And we had a breakfast in the hotel. Went down for breakfast, and it was a breakfast buffet, which means you go and help yourself. And then
I know what a breakfast buffet is, dickhead.
Well, they've got like sausages in pans and like eggs, and like sometimes you get cornflakes and stuff, and you like go and get it and take it back. But they had waitresses on serving coffee, right? So serving the coffee, that was it. So you couldn't get your own coffee, that was served to you. And it was very polite, wasn't it? Thank you very much. And then the woman came over, the breakfast waitress who was serving the coffee out of a jug, came over and said, "Oh, don't forget a tip because we don't get many tips." And I was like, "Well, it's a buffet." So yeah, but we do your coffee. Like, well, literally, if there was a coffee machine there, I'd be absolutely happy to just get my coffee myself as well.
The other thing about that is,
understand it.
It's like, how do you know how much I'm on? I might be worse off than you.
Yeah.
Cheeky.
So tippings are weird. Tippings just, it's really, again, what was the word again?
Divisive.
Divisive. It's divisive tipping, I think. But I would, even in a restaurant, I'd only go 10%.
Yeah. Yeah.
So cash is king, bullshit. People who think cash is king is bullshit. There is an Indian restaurant in Ulverston up the road, which is a normal Indian restaurant. It's meant to be absolutely fantastic. It's like one of the best restaurants in the north for Indian food. But they do a happy hour, and this happy hour is really cheap, apparently. But all the rest of the time, no problem. You can pay with your cards. Happy hour, cash only. That must be
really?
That must be like the chef's perk or something like that. Just happy hour, cash only.
Do you know, I don't mind stuff like that. You know, like if you're paying for something and it's reasonable. If you want to dodge tax, fine. It's your neck on the line. Like mate, how good was that? That has been one of my favourite beers on the Lagers Off podcast that we've done.
That was good.
That's absolutely blown me away.
Right, have you finished?
Yeah.
I think we're on to our last one. I've got another fresh glass here. There is a bit of glass admin was needed tonight, wasn't there?
Now, I'm hoping this is going to be good for personal reasons.
Oh.
So do you want to introduce it?
So this one is, I was going to say an old classic, but an old classic Northeast brand. Vaux Brewery, and this is Black Wave Oatmeal Stout, which is weighing in at 5%. Now, Vaux used to be a staple, didn't it, in Washington for
And Sunderland.
obviously Sunderland, but you used to get Vaux everywhere. When did it go out of business? It went out of business quite a long time ago, though, didn't it?
Yeah, it was a long time ago. I think it was sort of mid-90s. And I know that because my parents both worked for Vaux at one point.
They?
Yeah, my dad was a auditor for Vaux, and my mum worked in the brewery shop.
Yeah, didn't know that.
So basically, she gave all the people in the brewery their cheap beer. It was like an off-license for the people who worked for Vaux.
So the Vaux, so they've just bought the name. So all the like they used to have a massive brewery in Sunderland. They used to still do horse and carts and stuff. I think at Vaux.
Yeah, it was a proper.
But these guys bought the name and have started brewing under the Vaux name. Although I think they have done a double Maxim, which was one of the
Maxim's
classics.
excellent, actually. Have you had it?
Yeah, it's shite.
I like it.
I don't know what the new one's like, but I mean, Vaux double Maxim is.
I tell you what I used to like as well. They did for a couple of years a lager called Scorpion Lager, which was really nice.
That's bloody hell. That's was that Vaux?
Yeah,
I remember that. I remember Scorpion Lager.
Oh, I was tasting.
I'm just I'm having a bit of a disaster with my head. Cheers.
Cheers.
Now, don't forget we're coming off the back of a 10% dessert stout.
Which was excellent.
And this is going into a 5% oatmeal stout. But I have to say, that is creamy and lovely, that. I think that is good beer. Yeah, very nice. Oh, so...
Do you know what I can't stop thinking about every time I have a stout? Is this going to be like Guinness?
It never is.
It never is. Guinness is Guinness, isn't it?
Guinness is Guinness. Guinness is Guinness because it's pulled differently. It's pulled through nitrogen on a different gas mix. You should know that from your barman days.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well sold. So, lose a bit of timber, mate. So, I've been able to fit in some specialist jeans.
Specialist
hang on.
jeans.
Let me elaborate. Not specialist in the fat variety, specialist in the stretchy variety.
Stretch waist.
And not quite, but not too far away. But they're actually fully stretchy. They're like a pair of jeggings. Literally.
So they're tight round your leg?
So, well, the listeners, or the 6 listeners won't know this, but I have enormous calves. I've got really big legs and really big calves, and I struggle with pants generally because I can't pull the legs up and they get stuck. So these ones are a thick fit. And they're called the Perfect Fit Jean. So they say they will. I've been suckered in by the marketing, basically. So basically the stretchy jeans, they let your nuts breathe, so they're not tight around your crotch. They're made for fatter guys. You have to size down rather than size up. And anyway, I spunked 70 knicker on them.
70 knicker.
I know, the most expensive pair of jeans. I once went to a shop. Buying jeans for a fat bloke is quite hard. I once went to a shop in the Trafford Centre. This was, Bought a pair of jeans, put them on, perfect fit. Best fitting jeans I've ever had. Got the counter. There were a pair of Diesel jeans. Do you remember Diesel? The brand?
I do remember these, yeah.
Went to the tin, they were £123. And I said, no thanks.
Why?
That's what my wife said. She was like, couldn't believe it. Because you've had the best fitting jeans you've ever had in your life, and you just said no because you won't pay £123. I was like, yeah.
Denim jeans, if they're a decent pair of denim jeans, they'll last you forever.
I do like a Wrangler jean.
Mate, the last time I remember buying a pair of Levi's when I was about 16, and I was obviously
But you can't get into those.
significant. I think I get one leg into those cuts now. I remember them just being incredibly they were just great, the best jeans ever.
I never bought these ones. Anyway, these ones I've been sucking in, so I've never paid £70 for a pair of jeans for never ever. I used to buy when I was in America because I used to work over in America. I used to go to Walmart and you could get Wrangler jeans in Walmart, and I was paying like $30 for them or something like that. I used to bulk buy them. So I bought these jeans anyway. They've come. And I put them on, and I've got to say, put them on, and they were nice. They were they're loose around your balls, they're loose around your waist, they are stretchy. You can sit, you can sit on the settee and put your feet up and stuff like that, and they felt really nice. But they're also tight on my calves, so they almost look a little bit like a pair of +4s, +4s in golf. Where they're sort of baggy out at the thigh, but go really tight.
That's such an odd thing to have because it's who's solving that problem in the pant world?
Forget about fat bellies, big legs. That's what you need to be solving the gene problem with.
So I've had a kind of similar journey, but my problem is I've got really short legs, but I'm fat as frig. So almost my waist size. You can get trousers in my waist size anywhere, but getting a short leg is almost impossible. So I bought 2 pairs of trousers from Marks and Spencer's, right? 2 pairs of jeans recently. One fit perfectly. They were a little bit long, but they were perfectly across the waist. And then the second pair I tried on, I couldn't get them past me.
Size.
Past me knees.
Same size.
Yeah, same size.
Same shop.
Same shop. Well, I'd like someone to explain that. I would like someone from Marks and Spencer's to explain to me why that's a thing.
At Marks and Spencer. I was just doing a social media link.
Yeah. Get in the comments. Explain how that's a thing.
Yeah, that's odd, but they probably have them built in a different factory and stuff like that.
Built in a different factory.
You know what I mean?
Remember, buy trousers, not Nissans.
You know what I mean, though? They were probably done in a different factory in darkest Bangladesh.
Vietnam, yeah. Probably, but why have you got the same sizing for trousers?
Yeah, but that's always a waste. Sometimes I can convince myself I'm only a triple XL, and then I put on a triple XL of something else, and it's like a sausage skin. I've got a Canterbury, the rugby brand Canterbury. I've got a Canterbury T-shirt upstairs, which is 5XL, and I can barely get it over me boob.
It's mad, isn't it?
5XL, and I can barely get it over a tit. I've got an Asda George cardigan, 2XL. I'm rocking the slim stuff there.
Yeah. And it just depends where they're made. So I remember once we got some knockoff of Thailand coats for my son when he was little, and it was 5XL for an 11-year-old.
But these weren't even... Canterbury is quite a good make. That's not... Yeah, so anyway, I've got these fat lad jeans. I don't know if I've been duped by the internet or not, but I sort of want to buy a different cut now to see if they fit us a little bit better. But they do feel lovely.
I tell you my good news, mate. I went from notch 2 on my belt to notch 5.
go away, mate. I've had to change belts.
That is the promised land.
I had to double hole my previous belt, i.e., get me punch out, put another 2 holes in, had to change belts. And hang on, where am I? I've only got 2 holes left on this belt.
It's brilliant, isn't it?
Good that, yeah. I was well pleased.
I think that's more satisfying than standing on the scales, where you've got a notch up.
Yeah. I've got, I bought this t-shirt that you can see here, my Lovely Joe's t-shirt. It's good, isn't it? Do you like that? Mm-hmm. Bought this t-shirt in about 2010 when I was slimmer, and first time I've ever been able to get into it since.
Was that like one of the promotional release shirts for Jaws?
Yeah, 1982. I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed losing weight, and I just need to continue on.
I've enjoyed it as well. It's been good.
But the jury is out on perfect fit jeans. I want to love them, but the jury is watch this space.
Yeah. But the dream is to get into next, where you can buy 23-inch jeans and tight-fitting shirts. We'll never be that, will we?
Nah, because then we'll be taking our top off and walking down the street in the sun. That was a good joke. Unfortunately, we've decided to put this podcast over 2 episodes, so there's literally a week to wait for that punchline. Did you ever? Do you ever look at the local news?
Oh God, I do. And I tell you,
before you launch into this, can I just give you a headline?
Go on then. Was this something the local news TV or
no?
online?
This is. I think this is an online story. I should find it so I can give you it verbatim, whatever the word is. But I'm paraphrasing here. But the line was something like, "Man loses ferret." And then you think there's more to that story. This is going to be a personal interest story. There's going to be a lot more to this.
Yeah.
Nah. Man.
He just lost his ferret.
Lost his ferret. It chewed out of his pen. Loved the ferret. Had it for 2 years. Gone. Would love to have it back. If anyone sees it, please contact the local newspaper.
That's an absolute madness, isn't it? I mean, the thing is, right, I don't know what happened to local news, right? At some point we had, what's your local newspaper called? Do you even know anymore?
We've got the Lancaster Guardian.
Yeah.
And the Westmoreland Gazette.
Right. Do you have physical newspapers or do you just have the website?
They come in, they both come in a physical newspaper. I never buy it, but they both come in a physical newspaper.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. We have the Sunderland Echo. I don't know if that's still a thing. But like physically, but the website.
I bet Sunderland Echo's got to be.
Sometimes I go on the website, and it's basically one of those websites like most local news ones now, where you click on it, you're on it for 3 seconds, and it's pop.
And there's about 40 million spam adverts at the bottom of it.
Yeah, that's good. You're allowed to read 3 articles for free, but then you have to pay £1.
Yeah.
And it's like, right, I'll just fuck off then, because I don't care about that.
Yeah, I'm not paying £1. I'm quite interested in what's going on in the local area, but if I really need to, I'll just go on Facebook and find out from other people.
I'll just go on the Evening Chronicle site where I don't have to pay.
Do you have to pay on the Evening Chronicle?
No. It's got pop.
Bet that's still a physical paper.
It probably is. No. It is.
Come on, girl. Yeah.
Ready, girl.
For anyone who doesn't know, that was the sound of the Newcastle street vendors that used to sell the. Yeah. They used to have them all, didn't they? Somebody used to go. Whoop. Somebody used to go. Somebody used to go. Yep.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, yeah.
Couldn't be asked. Yep.
You don't see them. That was when I used to work in Leeds as well. That used to have the Evening Post, and they used to go Evening Post, Evening Post. Yeah, that's a lost thing. That's kind of that's a bit sad, actually, isn't it?
It is a bit sad. 'Cause
like in
it was always
Newcastle.
old guys, wasn't it?
In Newcastle, get your gas lighters, £5 for a pound.
Aye.
I bet you don't get that anymore.
No.
Gas lighters, £5 for a pound. Probably weren't 10 for a pound. I bet they were. The local journalism is pretty much dead, I would say. So
My cousin is a journalist for a local newspaper. I'll not say where.
come on.
And he told me 10 years ago, Northern Echo, he told me 10 years ago that journalism, written journalism, newspaper journalism was dead. 10 years ago.
Yeah, I'd say that.
Yeah. But that's a bit sad. I used to like a newspaper coming through the door.
We were almost a serious podcaster.
Yeah.
I
Well, I tell you what we've done beautifully though, mate. We've talked about the Northeast quite a lot on our Northeast special.
we have, yeah. No,
Things that are dear to our heart.
By accident.
Yeah. I mean, some of us stay here and support the local area. Some of us off and don't.
Well, because I'm still close to my roots as well. And when we're talking about newspapers, and like I say, because I'm still my heart lives in the council estates of the Northeast. I do like a Financial Times on a Sunday.
Thank God I got with that shit all.
Yeah, so basically, we haven't got Just Eat. Got to drive 20.
Who's the poor guy
minutes yeah, exactly. My haircut not round the corner.
No,
Although I'm paying less.
Yeah.
What would you rather do? Pay more for your haircut or have more options on the takeaway? Exactly.
I don't know.
But I do have a Tesco and a Co-op and a Booths and an Aldi.
And a big house.
Have you ever been to Co-op on a night and just because it's the only place open?
What, the Concord one?
Because like Co-ops are now like sort of the convenience store, aren't they?
Yeah. The most interesting place I've ever been on a night is one of them garages, like the petrol stations.
Hang on, one of those what?
Garages. What are you laughing at?
You mean garage?
Garage.
Did you say that by accident like that?
I'm trying to double down on it. I'm a garage. Okay, you. So the petrol stations that have got like supermarkets attached to the arse.
Yeah.
Have you ever been one of them on Christmas Day night?
No, I bet the dens of iniquity. Iniquity, is that a word?
It's just a load of piss people trying to find either more booze, buy more tabs,
or milk. Yeah. So again, even now, we do have a 24-hour petrol station, but unfortunately, it's a truck stop.
It's only open 12 hours.
No, it is 24 hours, but it's a truck stop. So it's like it's still got jazz mags in it. But they're wrapped in paper so you can't see anything.
Are they the only people buying jazz
truckers,
mags now?
Yeah,
Truck drivers?
Truckers, yeah. They kill prostitutes and buy jazz mags. There's something about a Co-op, though, which serves a purpose, but it doesn't serve a purpose like the old corner shops used to. So I miss being able to go to a local corner shop.
Yeah. Yeah.
Especially when you used to get. So I went to, when I was back with my parents, I went to my old corner shop, which you would have definitely frequented going to the club.
Mal's,
which has now been bought out But I think Mal's probably about 80, to be fair to him.
Yeah, I thought he must have been dead old.
Yeah, but so he sold out, and I went into this corner shop like last time I was up, and I went in. I was like, "Wow, this has changed," because it was like it had been the same for like literally 25 years.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to stop because I need a piss so bad.
Oh
I don't know how we do this. How do we do? I'll just go.
Pause.
We'll edit the back.
I'll pause. So Dan's back from his piss.
God, sorry, guy. I was literally gonna piss me pants.
I'm very sorry about that, dear listeners. I should have recorded his wee because I heard every single drop that he squirted out.
Yeah, prostrate.
He didn't wash his
Still
hands
strong.
either. Didn't wash his hands.
Didn't wash my hands.
And I've totally forgot what I was saying, but I think this is probably a good time to call it a bit of a day. So, down the hatch, God bless.
So, hang on. Yeah, I've drank mine.
So, we were on Vaux Black Wave Oatmeal Stout.
Hang on, I haven't drank it. There's still some in the can.
Vaux Black Wave Oatmeal Stout, 5%. Lager on or the lager off? Nice.
That was really
Almost.
nice. I was quite surprised. I thought it was going to be shit. I don't know why, but I did. But it was really nice.
Creamy and nice, especially on the back of that Donzoko. What do you call it? Donzonko. Donzonko is some sort of pork. Tiramisu stout. So yeah, that actually held its own up for a 5%.
Really good.
So I thought that was really, really good. Right, mate. On that note, God bless you. Thank you very much. This has been a 2-part. I hope you've enjoyed it. Want to give off some socials?
Yeah, so follow us on the Lagers Off at Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, and your podcasting platform of your choice.
And I will love it. I will love it if you subscribe to us, please. Especially on TikTok and especially on the Instagram, because we'd like to do some live episodes.
Oh,
so
yeah.
please subscribe just so you can see us in the live and you can leave real live comments.
We've got some really good ideas for lives. So
we haven't.
Yeah. Don't say
We haven't got
that.
any ideas. So we've got some really good ideas for lives.
Yeah.
Thank you, mate. It's been a pleasure. God bless the Northeast.
Yeah.
God bless Newcastle United. Love you.
Love you. Bye-bye.
The log is off. The log is off.